Welcome to the Bass Coast Shire Council Report, your weekly update on council news and events.
Hi, I'm Simone Short.
And I'm Steve Fury.
Welcome to this week's jam-packed show where we'll be covering some of the decisions made at the June council meeting last week, including the Inverloch Waste Transfer Station, adoption of the council budget, the Disability Action Plan and the Municipal Early Years Plan.
Thanks, Simone. We also want to talk about an upcoming meeting about boating around Mars Landing and the decision on road and drainage upgrades at Sunset Strip. But first, a decision to close the Inverloch Waste Transfer Station has been deferred until the August meeting. Now, the recommendation to close the station went largely under the community's radar of public knowledge, so a couple of information sessions are being held to explain the background and the reasons behind it.
The two information sessions will be held at the Inverloch Community Hub on June the 8th and 15th, on July the 8th and 15th from 4pm until 6pm, so we encourage anyone interested to come along. If Council accepts the recommendation to close the facility as of the 1st of September in 2017, a detailed plan of alternative waste disposal options and transition arrangements will be implemented, but that decision won't be made until the August Council meeting.
Council's budget for 2016-17 was also adopted last week. It includes no increase in operating costs and stays within the 2.5% average rate cap. Now, staying within the rate cap was a direction clearly supported during community engagements that we ran earlier in the year.
3 people who made submissions to the draft budget got a chance to present to Council at a hearing held on the 8th of June. Issues including Inverloch's Surf Parade shared path and Council's role in the reconstruction of the Cape Patterson Lifesaving Club will be considered in 2016-17. The $76 million budget also proposes a $16 million capital works program, which includes projects like the Bass Valley Children's Centre, the Cows Revitalisation Projects and Wonthaggi Netball Courts upgrade, just to name those 3.
Now, if you'd like to look over the adopted budget yourself, you'll find it at basscoast.vic.gov.au/budget. Now, also adopted at the June meeting were the Disability Action Plan and the Municipal Early Years Plan for 2016 to 2020. That's the DAP and the MEYP if you like acronyms, which I don't. The Municipal Early Years Plan will give Council some guidance on decisions on matters relating to kids aged 0 to 12 years and their families, while the Disability Action Plan includes initiatives like safer crossings, beach and foreshore access, paths, street furniture that meets current standards and up-to-date maps.
Road and drainage upgrades proposed for the Sunset Strip estate on Phillip Island were put to the vote at the Council meeting last week. In the end, Council decided not to progress with the works due to a lack of support from the estate's residents. There was a large amount of engagement and consultation with local residents on these upgrades, and the approved plans won't go to waste.
That's right. If the Sunset Strip community decides in the future that they'd like to look at road and drainage upgrades, the plans and engineering reports that they've had a hand in creating are all ready to go. At the meeting, Councillor Brown thanked the Sunset Strip community for their input and participation in all the workshops and surveys.
Now, if you enjoy boating or fishing in Anderson Inlet, we want to hear from you. We're aware that in peak season, the Inverloch boat ramp can become a little too congested, and it can also be affected by wind and wave action, which can make launching or getting your boat out on the water quite a hair-raising exercise.
With Mars Landing only 6 kilometres away, it becomes a logical choice for anyone looking for an alternative, but with increased traffic, it really needs to be a more user-friendly facility. So we can hear from people who launch their boats at Mars Landing. We're holding a community workshop in Inverloch next Wednesday, the 6th of July, at the Inverloch Community Hub from 5pm until 7pm. And if you'd like more information on this workshop, you can give Council's Natural Resources Officer, David Martin, a call on 5671 2774 or email d.martin@basscoast.vic.gov.au.
And the news keeps coming. As of July the 1st, some of Council's customer service centres and visitor information centres are moving to a shared services model. This is all part of a review of our processes and practices to ensure services are efficient and relevant to the community. At our customer service centre in Cows, customer services and visitor services will be integrated. So customer service will now be offered at the centre from 9am until 5pm from Monday to Friday, which is a change from the current opening time of 8:30am. Visitor services will still be available from the centre 7 days a week.
Over at the Inverloch Community Hub, customer service will be merged with hub operations and visitor services. Now, this was previously delivered by the Inverloch Library staff, and thank you very much for doing that, guys. Customer service transactions will now be processed at the Visitor Information Centre across the corridor from the library, and customer services will now be offered by Council's Visitor Services staff from 9am to 5pm from Monday to Friday. Just to note too that the hub office is still separate and will now open from 9am until 5pm Monday to Friday, and this is a change from the 9am to 3:30pm from Tuesday to Saturday as it used to be.
Lastly, a quick plug for the Bass Coast Business Awards. If you're a business owner and haven't got your entry in yet, it's not too late. Entries close on Monday, the 11th of July. Head on over to basscoast.vic.gov.au/business awards for more information, or if you'd like to vote for your favourite business in the People's Choice Awards.
And that's about all we've got time for this week. As always, if you have any questions or need more information about anything we've mentioned, just give us a call on 1300 B Coast. That's 1300 226 278 or 03 5671 2211. You can also keep up to date on facebook.com/Bass Coast Shire or follow us on Twitter at our handle @Bass Coast, and we'll catch you next week for more council news.
The Bass Coast Shire Council Report is broadcast on Tuesday mornings at 9:30, Thursday afternoons at 4:30 and on Saturday mornings at 10 on your community station 3MFM. Audio and transcript is also available from our website basscoast.vic.gov.au.